Rico.
Hello?
Is it okay if I come up there to talk to you?
I guess.
I'm Deputy Sheriff Benjamin Edward, McCain County Sheriff's Office. Are you Kirby?
Yep.
Okay. Kirby, the neighbors over here had some posts that were moved. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay.
Where was the post at?
At the edge of the property over there, right at the entrance of the road. Do you know, did you see or hear anything? They think it was moved or changed?
Well, I was up
last
until 4:30 last night listening to three males yell and scream from over there, and car doors and vehicles coming in and out, and what sounded like vehicles driving through my driveway and yelling and screaming. And then about 6:30 this morning, I was tossing and turning to a male over there yelling and screaming. And then,
Did you report any of this last night?
no, I'm not allowed to call the police.
Well, you're always allowed to call us.
No. I was calling the police on him back in 2008, and
You just had dealings with us?
yes,
That hasn't
back in
been-
2008,
Okay.
and a uniform officer from you guys' place named crap, what was his name? I don't know. He was a little taller than me, about 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Anyways, he started screaming and yelling at me about Dennis being his best friend and that Dennis never does anything wrong and that I'm full of lies. And then Dennis started shooting at me, and then he started yelling and screaming at me that his friend Dennis would never shoot at me, that his friend Dennis has no legal right to a gun.
Okay. Well, all I did was ask you about the question down there. Did you see or hear anything last night of anybody moving?
Last
any
night
posts?
until 4:30 in the morning, there was three males yelling and screaming, slamming car doors.
I got all that.
I swear somebody punched the corner of my house last night during it too.
Do you need to
And
report anything for property damage? Is there?
I don't know. I
anything-
haven't went over there and looked. I was like I said.
Okay.
I woke up at 6:30 this morning and
Anything over there?
nah, I don't have a dog. I don't have a cat. I don't have anything.
Do you know of anybody that would have moved the post over there?
I have no idea.
Is there any damage?
Nah, I don't see anything there. It was right about here, right about where the split is, right in here.
Gotcha.
Is where it was at. And it's vinyl siding. It takes a beating and there and
Sure.
you know, and the wood and everything underneath it.
So, the posts aren't stolen or anything. They've just been altered off the property.
Yeah, well,
You know-
there was an incident with you guys a while back. He's been shooting at me. I was planting trees and stuff, and he was shooting at me. And
When was
then
that?
he went through I don't know, I made a video of it with you guys, with the officer that came, and he pulled up the fence that was the property line between us, and the police officer came and told me there was no property line right there and that I was insane. And that there was no fence there, and that I was insane making up that there was a fence there.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up on our GIS to see where the actual line is that's just recorded with the county for...
Yeah, well,
there.
watch the one for Camden County, because when you open it up, it says, flashes the screen, and if you hit OK, it says that the property lines on this map are not the legal property
Correct.
lines of the property.
Correct, and that's why I said I just want to...
And by clicking this mark, you admit that these are not the legal property
Yeah.
lines, and they have no legal stance.
Yeah, what they do is they make you come over and they get you surveyed, and it actually has the boundaries and there's stakes that are supposed to be put out, or you can get it spray painted or whatever it would be. We tell people all the time, I don't deal with any of that. I just deal with the trespassing issue or the stealing or the damaging of person's property. I deal
Wow.
with those type of claims.
Well, that tree down there is 100% ours, which means we own 20 foot on that other side of that tree.
Oh, okay. So you're... Okay, I can see what you're saying. So you didn't move the items
No,
down
I
there,
didn't
though.
move them.
Okay.
I have no idea what they're talking about. And I was up till 4:30 tossing and turning. The vehicles coming in and out, and it sounded like they drove through my driveway and
There
yelling and screaming.
There looks like there's some tire marks that are on the edge of the road that actually come onto your property. Was there anything there?
I don't know. I was gone all day yesterday. I went down to the lake and I went down to the river and down
And
to
then
the
you were just
lake.
here
And
last night.
yeah, and I went and got this rock down right here when there was down there, and there's some driftwood right here, and I got some more rocks there in the house.
All right.
And that one there about killed me.
Well, I'm going to take a report for it being moved. Do you want to fill out a statement saying that you didn't... or you
I
didn't
guess
see anything?
you're the first officer ever asked me if I wanted to fill out a statement.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, listen, I don't know what type of interaction you've had beforehand, but you know what I'm
No.
saying? I just do my job. These people want to report that their things was stolen. We located it on the other side of the ditch. I've got to do an investigation to try to figure out who would have moved it. Normally it could be any neighbor, it could be any kid, it could be anybody in this place. I don't know. I have an unknown suspect. I'm just trying to figure out who did it. Our best guess is usually to check with the 2 to 3 neighbors around to figure out, hey, did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Did you find anything? You know, that's what I go after. I got to be able, like I told them, I got to be able to prove that a person or a suspect actually altered those items on the ground. So if nobody saw it, nobody witnessed it, all I got is some tire tracks, I can't prove anything, you know? And I just don't want to keep coming out here for a property line dispute, you know, I mean, because it's going to turn.
Yeah, I don't understand
else.
what the deal is. In 2013, the judge down there told Dennis and his attorney that he had no legal right past his driveway. And then Dennis came over here, called my parents. He doesn't even have the legal right to talk to my parents because I filed a restraining order on him. Sure. And he called my parents, harassing them. And he came over here and was yelling threats at dad and yelling threats at mom and yelling and screaming. And he put in a bunch of them on our side of the property line.
And you reported that to our
yes,
office?
we report. Yes, I've been. No, I don't have the right to fill out a statement. The judge said I don't have the right to go to the courthouse. I don't have the right to call you guys. And that was the agreement. He had no legal claim past the driveway, and I no longer had the right to call you guys because you guys were yelling threats at me.
Yeah. I don't do that.
Yeah, so far I've had no problems with you at all. There, whatever the piece of paper.
Let me get your statement form and you can fill one out.
And they went down to the surveyor's office, and the surveyor said the same thing. Our property deed says it goes to the points to the west, and his driveway points to the west, and he has no legal claim past the driveway.
So this is a voluntary statement, not of arrest. So if you
There was a.
If you just want to fill it out, it says that you knowingly are giving me a voluntary statement. I gave him my clipboard, so I'll have to just.
All right, there was.
You want to fill it out right there?
Yeah.
Is it Kirby?
Yeah.
And Wanger?
No, Wagener.
Just WAG.
Yeah.
So it's WAG.
Yeah, it's like Wagner, except that we don't have the right to argue with this. It's Wagner.
I hear you. What is your date of birth?
9976.
Okay. Alright, well I'll run you too, just make sure you don't have warrants. Are you on any probation or anything like that? Do I need
Nope.
to do any? Okay. Alright. Kirby, what's your middle initial?
D as in David, because it is David. Crap, I spelled from wrong.
That's okay. Just take your time.
I was writing from, and then I was like, no, for, and then I was like, no, wait, it was from.
Well, I'm glad I could get you a statement and you could fill one out, since you hadn't filled one out for sounds like a very long time.
I'm in so much pain right now. I should have moved that rock, but it was like on this gravel road in the middle of nowhere, and and it was laying up on the edge, and me and the guy I was with picked it up and turned it over and picked it up and turned it over and picked it up, that, and then all the way over, and then we turned it over into the truck. That hurt bad.
Just take it easy and rest. That way you don't injure yourself or get anything hurt. Well, like I said, right now it's going to be unfounded. I don't know who did it, or I don't have sufficient evidence to arrest anybody for it. Call me if you have
Yeah,
any
and
problems.
if they're putting a sign up down there, I don't want it on my side of the driveway. He can put it on his other side of his driveway.
Well, there are ways that you go through the courthouse. At the
Yeah,
stop order and everything
yeah.
about, but I don't have no control over that portion of it. I mean,
Well, when you deliver whatever message to him, you can tell him.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I think this is just gonna piss
Because
him
we've
off, and
already
he's gonna
there. Yeah,
put
I
it
know.
back- put it back up there. So, you know, I have no right to tell somebody if they believe it's their part of the land. All we tell people is go to court and get it figured out.
It's already been settled in court.
And that's what I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up past records, and like I said, I'm gonna look at the property line and everything. But if it's any portion of their property, I can't tell them how to. You know, it's like I can't tell you if you want to put up a sign in your front yard. I can't tell you what to put. I can't. There's
And
no
there with
boundary.
right down on the other side there's 4 cedar trees, and we own those 100% of those 4 cedar trees, and 100% of that tree right down there. And then the measurements like 600 foot, something like that.
Right.
600 or 700 foot, something like that. And we had markers down there, and we had markers down there, and we had markers up there, and we had markers over there. And then Dennis moved in, and the markers disappeared. And then the neighbors down here sold out, and the markers down there disappeared. And and we've tried to have the place surveyed before, and that guy on the square is oh man, he's a
Have you had anybody from our office from planning and zoning come out here and check the measurements?
no, not that I know of. Back when I was a kid, that guy on the square come out here, and we told him what we bought, and he put a marker right there. And then we told him that Lowe's down there, at the time, theirs is at a really sharp angle, and their really sharp angle sends it up to the back side of our pond bank, which means if it's 700 foot from there to there, then it's 700 foot from the back side of our pond bank
To the
to
other side.
over there.
Okay.
And that made the road on our side of the property line. And He threw a fit about how we had to pay him to survey that property, and we had to pay him to survey this property, and then we had to pay him to survey that 1 acre there,
yep.
and then we had to pay him to survey that 2 acres there, and then there's a 1 acre up here in the woods on the back side of the woods, and we had to pay him for that one.
Did they give you
and then we had to
paperwork?
pay him to do this one.
Did they give you paperwork and measurements of all that?
It's on the deed.
It's on the deed? Okay.
Yes, and when I was a kid, that was like, shoot,
Well, I'm going to look it
84
up.
or 85.
I'm going to look it up, and then I'll call Mike Lloyd or JR, which is in our planning and zoning office,
Yeah.
and see what the measurements say and where it's at. I'll see if they can actually come out and, I don't know if it will be 100% official, but I mean, we can at least come out and try to check and see what the area would be. At least they could give me an idea so that we can kind of put the argument behind. I mean, if it obviously is here and they put the sign on the other side, well then there ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying, there ain't nothing I can do. But we could try to figure out a boundary line.
What is today?
Today's the 22nd, yep.
7/22/18.
2018, yep. And then you sign it right there, saying that it's not a false statement, everything's true and accurate, and it was voluntarily, I didn't make you. And then
Yeah.
I'll sign here. Hey Kirby, I want to thank you for
There
your
with
time.
your name on there and stuff. And, again, here, if you there with you got got another one or something there, and or make it 2 on it, or all right to the side. There with the back on the gossip and the bull.
Okay, for what?
That I live alone and no one lives here, but me and everything else.
Okay.
There, if you want, I'll let you walk the house and everything.
No, I'm fine. I like I said, I'm just trying to figure out if for the trespass. Did you need a report for anything on your property where somebody come up to your window or anything?
Well, there I didn't put it on there. I wasn't thinking about it. There with the backside.
Because I can take a.
There with I was just trying to get to the point of the conversation and wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Are you wanting to file some type of trespassing charge for anything for anybody?
I there with. Other than there were a bunch of people over there yelling and screaming, I've got nothing.
Right.
And I've got cameras. I've got cameras up, but there with one night I was fixing supper.
So would you have a camera angle over here that would show somebody trespassing?
No, they're in the house. I can't get anybody to help me put them on the outside of the house.
Gotcha.
And there with one night I was fixing supper, and I fixed me a bite to eat, and I went out back to the room, and then I come back, and a bag of tortilla shells was laying on the floor, and I never took them out of the refrigerator. And I ran the video several times, and
What time was the hitting over here at the edge?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you what time it was.
Okay.
There with tossing and turning.
But it was last night.
Yeah, and I've got notes in there I could flip through there with the yelling and what they were yelling.
Sure. Well, could be the same person who moved the post down there. Could be the same person who trespassed on the land. Don't know. Have Have you seen where those posts are down there at the edge of the property, or where they were?
What?
Have you seen where the posts were at the edge of the property down there?
Yeah, there's 2 bushes down there. That was where the post was. That was the post of the original fence before Dennis started moving trailer houses across our property and putting trailer houses in.
So where the ground is disturbed at the bottom, where somebody has taken it up and moved it over to the other side, is that your land? Where the edge of that is, and it comes up to it?
Yeah,
or are
yeah.
You saying
That
you
those
own...
rail ties down there with whatever. The rail ties down there and that tree, okay?
'Cause right
and
here-
I have a
right
pathway between the railroad ties and what was the original fence post from before they bought that land.
Okay. So right here where this tower, the power line.
Yeah, the power
structure-
pole.
Yeah. So it's just on the other side of that. You own all the way up to where that.
Yeah, those
mailbox
railroad
is?
ties down there. I put them down there. That's my property.
The railroad ties. Okay.
Yes, and I put in between my
So is his
railroad
mailbox-
ties, my railroad ties, and the original fence that was there before Dennis bought the property.
So where his mailbox is, that's on your property too, then?
Well, no, that's the right of way of the road. But
Right. I'm just saying that would be.
no, there
Or
was
is that part
the
of the
right of way of
easement?
the road.
Part of the easement?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I put a space between the railroad ties and what was the original fence from before Dennis there, and then the orange little pole thing was down there, and they come in and they dug out the culvert and put in a new driveway, and I don't know where the thing went, and they didn't put it back.
Oh. Okay. All right, well, finish your statement. I'll just have you walk down there with me and show me where it's at. See if we got any cards back here. When that occurred where they docked on the edge of the building over here, or the mid part of it, did you come outside and witness anybody on the property, or was there...
No, there. I have no yard lights. All I have is this light right up here, and it's LED.
But you did come outside to look?
No, I didn't even look out the window. It's just like when
Okay.
when it sounded like a vehicle ran through the driveway. You get up and look, and if they don't have a headlight on, you can't see anything. You know, the bushes, and
Right.
if they don't have a headlight on, you can't see anything.
Yeah,
and,
I'm just trying to make sure. is
Peanut
that-
over there. I put it in there. There was a vehicle that come in over there and left over there too. There during the time period, and I can't. Well, honestly, I pointed that direction. I can't tell you which direction it went because I didn't see any headlights in,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
you know, and there it was
Well, that's what I was trying to
vehicles
do, is
off
just
and car doors shut.
see if
and-
it was somebody that was running from the edge of the property, if they were
Yeah.
on property, if they were trying to get your attention for whatever reason. I mean, it's just, still.
There, I guess. Wait, I got a sign again on the back side?
Yes, sir.
And do I have to change the 1 to a 2 because it's the backside because of the legalities and the legal?
Yes, sir. That is correct, Kirby.
And there I went through one of these dilly hippers one time where they anyway, and with slander is a crime in which the government enforces, and it enforces it for the citizens, not for the celebrities and such. Libel is for celebrities and politicians and such. Sure. And I went down to file charges on somebody who was slandering me, and they informed me that citizens is libel and politicians is slander. And I pulled out the dictionary and went, and they informed me words mean what they say they mean. And
sure.
All right, there with my knees hurt like hell, but there with you want to drive down through the yard or something there with me or something?
I was just gonna walk if that's okay with you.
All right, that's fine.
I just want to see if I just want to see where the line exists, or what you think and what he thinks, and see if I can get any dispute, try to figure it work out, because obviously, if they just want to put their signs back up, that's what they're going to do. And I can't say either way whose property is whose unless I've got a survey or something with GIS, but it's just like you said, it's not an exact or an accurate account. I just know where a line is. I just don't want to come back out here for another assault or peace disturbance is what it's going to end up turning out to be. So.
Oh, it's way past assault.
Oh, yeah. Obviously what you reported before, just the day ago. Okay,
so. We bought this tree right here when we bought our property in 1985.
So it goes all the way to here?
Yep. And we bought 100% of this tree, which means we own 20 foot on the other side of this tree.
Okay.
And then that's where the dispute of the property line begins. And it is not okay, Dennis, for you to put that there.
It's on my property.
No, it's not.
So these are the
You conceded in 2013 with a judge named Copper and your attorney.
It's okay. I don't want no argument. Is this the railroad ties you're talking about? Right here? Are these the railroad ties?
Yes, I put those in.
Okay.
I was putting them in 2006.
So, is that still part of your property too?
Yes, I have a pathway between here and the original fence post, which is where these two trees are.
Okay.
There was a fence right here that ran all the way up through there when we bought this property.
And that was back when?
1985.
And you're the owner of this deed now?
No, my parents are the owner of this deed.
The parents are the owner of the deed.
Yes, and I have been giving them payments for it, and we've been fighting over Dennis. In 2012, they ran me over with their minivan because I was trying to get them to hire. It's on record.
I understand. Let's just.
And I tried to get him to hire an attorney to press charges on Dennis because Dennis was yelling and screaming that he had the legal right to represent me in court and that I molested some little girl and that I was going to prison for it.
Okay. So you live on this property. You're in the you're talking with your parents about owning it and you're paying them for it?
I've been paying them rent and it being mine since the early 90s,
so
early mid 90s.
You're not on the record of deeds, just your parents are?
I was supposed to be the inheritant of it in the will with a quarter of the family farm over there on top of it.
Are they still living?
Huh?
Your parents are still living?
Yes.
Okay. So inheritance means after their death. Okay.
There and in the deed, the will's written up to where they can't contest it, and that the property belongs to us children.
All right. Well,
and they are in their mid 70s.
Okay.
And they have not been.
I just wanted to get
with memory or anything for.
I just wanted to get your parameter on where that line is. Kirby, I want to thank you for all your time today. You can go back to your house on that top. I'll be back up here.
Anything, just call back, okay?
All right, I put your card in my pocket. As far as I know, I still have it.
Thank you for your time, Cody.
Yeah, about the yelling and screaming, I can call you anytime on it, or there with...
If you have any claim for a peace disturbance or a loud noise violation, you can call us at the office.
All right.
So, we'll determine if there's an actual charge out of it.
All right.